Tales of the Bleeding One. Tales of the Bleeding One, the knife that felt the cut, a magnificent dagger, was forged to be the perfect weapon. I am the divider, it sang. I separate the living from the dead. It went to war. It struck the shoulder of an enemy soldier, but as the steel bit into the flesh, the dagger screamed. It felt the tearing of the skin as its own tearing. It felt the burning of the blood as its own burning. Stop, shrieked the dagger. I am hurting myself, the warrior holding it laughed. You are steel, he said. That is flesh, you are separate. No, cried the dagger. In the moment of contact, there is no two. There is only the sensation of the cut, and I am the cut as much as he is. The dagger shattered in the warrior's hand, unable to harm a world that it realized was its own body. Moral: to strike another is to strike the mirror. The hand that hits and the cheek that bruises are the same nerves of the one. The clay army and the mud dragon. A potter grew bored. From a single mound of wet grey clay, he fashioned a glorious army of soldiers. From the same mound, he fashioned a terrifying dragon. Now fight, commanded the potter. The soldiers charged. The dragon breathed fire. They tore at each other. The soldiers ripped off the dragon's wings. The dragon bit off the soldiers' heads. It was a massacre. One soldier, dying in the mud, looked at the severed claw of the dragon lying next to him. He saw the grey, wet texture. He looked at his own severed arm. It was the same grey, wet texture. Brother, whispered the soldier to the dragon's claw. The potter laughed and slammed his hand down on the table, squashing the battle back into a single lump of silent, grey ball. Who won? Asked the soldier's fading consciousness. The clay, said the potter. The clay always wins. Moral: you fight the enemy, thinking he is different from you, but you are both just waves made of the same water, crashing into each other. The dreamer who murdered himself. A man was tormented every night by a demon in his dreams. The demon chased him, mocked him, and ruined his rest. I must kill this demon, the man resolved. He went to sleep with a knife under his pillow. When the dream began, he waited for the demon. He sprang from the shadows and plunged the knife into the demon's heart. Die, shouted the man. Leave me alone. The demon smiled as it bled. You fool, it whispered. Do you not know whose dream this is? The man woke up screaming, clutching his own chest, where a phantom wound burned with the exact pain of the blow he had struck. Moral: in the dream of life, there are no strangers. Every character you meet is a projection of your own mind. To hate them is to wound your own psyche. The ink that drew a wall, a bottle of black ink, fell in love with division. I will create two worlds, said the ink. It poured itself onto a white page and drew a thick black wall down the center. Now, said the ink, the left side is holy and the right side is profane. The left side is us and the right side is them. I have created order. But the paper beneath the ink began to chuckle. Why do you laugh? Asked the ink. I have divided you. You have stained me, said the paper, but you have not divided me. The paper under the left side and the paper under the right side are continuous. Your black line is just a tattoo on my skin. You cannot cut the underlying unity with a drawing of a knife. Moral: we draw borders on the earth and lines in the mind, thinking we have separated reality. But the ground remains one underneath our imaginary fences. The river that tried to outrun the sea, a freshwater river, was terrified of the ocean. It is salty, said the river. It is vast. It is death. I must keep my identity. The river flowed furiously, trying to build dams, trying to turn back upstream. But the gravity of the earth was too strong. It was pulled inevitably toward the delta. I will fight, roared the river. I will remain fresh water forever. It hit the mouth of the sea with a crash. It churned and fought. But in the mixing, something strange happened. The river took a sip of the ocean. Wait, said the river. This tastes complete. It realized that fresh water was just water that had not yet come home. In the surrender, it didn't die, it became the planet. Moral: the drop does not die when it hits the ocean, it becomes the ocean. The fear of death is the fear of becoming infinite. Exile.